underestimate this man. Do not underestimate him. He's a great fighter for a reason. He's one of the greatest for a reason, if not the greatest, for a reason. All the millions of people that are starting to hover around him and calling him all these presidents and everybody that want to be in his presidents, he's special. He is special. If people don't recognize how special Khabib is, they're missing the boat. This man is special. So being that, we go into the fight, he gets in that situation where he's doing everything perfect, and I'm like, oh, perfect. And then he stands with him in the third round, and I said, okay, now, let's go back to father's plan, please. I go, he goes, yes, coach. So he goes back in the fourth round, does what he's supposed to do. But the third round, he wanted to stand with him. He wanted to prove to him, I could stand with you. I don't have to take you down. I could stand with you. And I'm like, yeah, that's good, but that's not what I want. So please take him down. Now, I prepared him for during the fight. I didn't prepare for him after the fight. I didn't think about after what would happen because his father is so dear to him. His religion is everything to him. Look, listen, you guys, after the fight was over, we go to Ali's house. He says, Coach, please excuse me. I have to go upstairs and pray. Hey, you just won the biggest fight of your freaking career, and you're telling us, can you please excuse him? He has to go out and pray. You tell me that man's not into his religion and into God. You tell me that. Who in their right mind does that you know of? No
question.
Khabib, he just keeps going and
different animal.
Yeah,
and it's also the wrestling.
Yeah,
like Khabib's wrestling is not just a level above everybody else, but multiple levels.
Yeah,
like he just.
I heard like heavy guys. I'm talking about heavyweights talking about Khabib's pressure on the ground, being on top.
Yeah, yeah.
Taking that side belt, that seat belt around, taking his hands, moving that leg up. Just neutrals the guy totally. So,
Luke Rockhold said he never loses a round in training.
Oh, he said
he doesn't lose a round.
Yeah, Khabib.
Khabib doesn't lose a round. He just smashes everybody.
That's insane, man.
Everybody who wrestles with him, like, fuck, here we go. Time to go through the grinder.
Yeah, Khabib is amazing. He's an amazingly effective MMA fighter. His style is suffocating. It's relentless, and he does it better than anybody else.
Is he better than you thought going in?
No. I knew he was going to be an incredible challenge. I've watched him for a long time. That wasn't surprising how good he was.
Do you think Khabib is one of the best fighters today, or the best?
I think pound for pound, arguably one of the best fighters in the sport right now, for sure. He's got everything firing. I mean, his submission game's great. He's developing a very, very strong striking game. He brings a very tenacious attitude, and he's literally like a pit bull on a chew toy. He's not letting that go. So I like watching him fight. And there's some similarities in the way he likes to fight and the way I like to fight. So
personality-wise, he's actually not built to be a superstar in that sense, because he's such a humble, modest man. If he were more outlandish, a little bit more cocky and bravado, which his fighting ability, he's the best fighter in the world. If it backed up a little bit more, he would have 5 times as many followers. So if anything, his humility and how humble he is, as far as a marketing standpoint, kind of hurts him. I mean, and I don't ever want Khabib to change. I think it's a breath of fresh air in our culture to not, look, man, we're now living in the, everybody wants to be Instagram famous. Everybody wants to do reality TV shows. There's all this, all these superstars with no substance, I mean, how many times you see someone famous and you're like, what do they do? Famous for the sake of being famous. And Khabib is the exact opposite. He's famous because he's a man of great quality, great representative of his religion, of his people in Dagestan, and of the culture of MMA. I couldn't ask a better person to represent us.
With this, I'm 100% sure that Khabib will make it. He's the superior fighter.
How do you think that would go down? How do you think he could?
He will smash him. He will press him to the cage, take him down, punish him and punch him. Maybe he will survive, but I don't see Ferguson winning this fight. I mean, how? I don't think he has a knockout power, and I also don't think he can submit him. So Khabib all the way.
Khabib doesn't play jiu-jitsu with you. He doesn't turn it into a jiu-jitsu match. He locks up your arms. He gets into a safe position and beats you up. He ties up your legs so you can't get up and beats you up. And even if you somehow do manage to work your way up slowly, he beats you up for the whole way up and then brings you back down. Like He is honestly a beast, a scary beast. Like the initial phase of the takedown, so attempting the takedown. If I try to take you down and you stuff it, it's harder for me. But if I get you down, solidify position, then it's harder for you. So phase 1 is hard for me. Phase 2 is harder for you. And I think the way it balances up is that like you try to have more of a phase 2 than a phase 1.
But a Khabib who gets his takedowns, grinds you up against the fence.
If Khabib gets you in phase 2, you're not going anywhere. You're there for the whole round.
And then if you work your way up, he's still on you.
He can do it again. And
that's a big problem, is that transition occurs. He get up and he takes you back down.
Well, and you know what's crazy about Khabib and the way he does it is like, let's say you do get up. You like Dustin got up. Against all odds, he got up and he did get up. Khabib got out. Dustin was tired. Khabib threw 1-2 and just reshot straight away. Khabib can get the takedown from a bad shot.
As long as he can catch and push you into the cage.
Poirier had both underhooks with that second double, and Khabib just went to the single leg, stepped in, took him down straight away, clean. As long as he can touch you, as long as he has a hand on you, he can get the takedown, and it is unbelievable that level of, which opens up his whole stand-up game, because that level of threat of the takedown is ridiculous. It is remarkable.
Now you fought a guy with higher credentials than him in Romero.
Yeah.
Was Romero comparable to him?
Nah. Romero's good, and he's got amazing wrestling, but it's not. I don't think Romero has the same grappling. You know how we were talking about on another episode that the grappling we think is a mixture of like strikes with the jiu-jitsu element and the wrestling element. I think Khabib is the best grappler in the world, hands down.
For combat
grappler in the world.
Yeah.
Whereas Romero is a better wrestler, but not the.
I don't think it was bad at all.
What is your take on it?
You have to say, you can't do that as a champion. I'm a stupid fucking analyst who has to work for Disney, and I have to pretend I care about these things. He went after, from what I saw, he went after fighters. He didn't go after. He's not wrong.
There was no malice in the palace. He knocking out motherfuckers.
He went after fighters in Floyd's camp, and he was ready to kill them all. And I wanted to see that shit.
I thought it was lit.
I wanted to see him go one-on camp. Let's go.
I thought it was lit.
It was dope.
Listen, Connor pulled up. Now you pulled up. What's the difference?
Exact same thing.
And you know what? You pulled up effectively. Connor did it when you were in a bus, and maybe it was all for charades, this, that, the other.
Connor pulled up in a fucking suit or whatever the fuck.
No, he was in some like exercise pants.
All right, well, you know what? My man Khabib was ready to go after a fight.
After the whole fight, he wanted to take on your team.
Fam.
Yo, Connor's catching his breath, putting his eyeballs back in his fucking head.
Hop that fucking fence like Eden when he got to this country.
Son.
You can't stop him.
When he jumped over the shit, he looked like Caesar from Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Because he did a double hand punch down.
Yo, nothing.
Son.
Yo.
He's got mad dexterity with his legs. He could have a little...
You got a little ape in him?
He could have a little ape in him. You can call white people that, right?
Yeah.
That's totally fine, right? You might have a little
You're
ape
not dark
in him.
enough that it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, I hesitated for a second and I realized it's flagrant.
Do you see most people climb fences? They got to kick a leg up and then kick a leg over. My man just jumped, and then his stomach on the top of the fence.
Just surfed it.
Yo, it was
Surfing.
crazy.
He didn't care. He didn't fucking care.
Yo, he was ready. That shit
Ran
was
right after. The
dope.
motherfucker had a bleached blonde hair. The dude he jumped after.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever amount of control they were able to impose on him would be nothing compared with what Khabib could impose. Yeah. Moreover, Khabib is it's a much more dangerous form of control. Khabib has a program of hitting people on the ground which is substantially better than either of the two athletes you just mentioned.
Yes.
And the big difference is when Khabib gets you on the ground, you're not getting up.
No, you're getting mauled, and it's almost like a spider. Like he's injecting venom into you and slowly but surely like weakening your body.
Yeah.
Like you see after the first round when Barboza gets up, it's like, okay, you mean he's alive still, but this is a different person now.
Yeah. But Khabib's mastery out of those three critical areas for domination in all forms of fighting is he's incredibly dominant in determining the direction of the fight and the pace of the fight. That's why he never gets tired in his fights. He's got a very high work rate, but he never gets tired. You never see him just completely shattered, despite the fact he's working hard the whole time.
And despite the fact that he significantly weakens himself to make 155 pounds, which apparently he's done far better now. He had a real nutritionist heading into this camp, and it was much easier for him to cut the weight.
I'd be fascinated to see him fight at 170.
Well, that's a plan.
Yeah.
Apparently, that was a plan, and Woodley was joking around about it, saying he'll send him nutritionists. He'll say, like, keep his psycho ass down at 155 was his exact.
That's funny.
That's his exact quote. Yeah.
As well?
Khabib.
And why Khabib?
Why? I don't know. He is monster, in this category. I don't know why, but I think he gonna win the fight. He take him down, punch, and he do what he do best.